All right. So good morning. Good morning. Let's just find ourselves in a comfortable position on our mats. Seated is fine, lying down is great, and we'll just start to really get in touch with our breathing this morning. Start to either wake up if we've just woken up or maybe calm down if we've done something already pretty active this morning. Myself, I got up and I vacuumed and cleaned and got everything done out of the way. So cleaning is not my favorite thing to do. So I motivate myself by getting up and then having the rest of my day carefree without that kind of cleaning. So if you are just starting your day and it's your time to wake up, it's the same as if we were having a busy day and we needed to calm down. We're just finding ourselves on our mats, just noticing how the back feels. We can keep our knees bent if we'd like. We just move our shoulders a little bit side to side. Then once we've got our shoulders placed, we can just rock our head a little bit side to side and just take a notice of how the shoulders are feeling. See if they're comfortable on the ground. Then notice if our pelvis feels supported. And if the pelvis feels really good and supported and we have no lower back issues this morning, then we can lengthen our legs out one at a time and just feel ourselves connected from the lower part of our body. And then those palms, sometimes they feel better when they're palms face down. And sometimes they feel better when the palm is faced up. So maybe we just do a couple of times where we're just turning our palms down and then turning our palms up just to see how it feels to have the palms up and down and then just choose one. There's nothing wrong with having one palm up and one palm down. It's just not normal, but it's definitely not something that is a problem, especially if we're dealing with a bit of a shoulder issue. Then maybe we try one palm up and one palm down. Then once we've decided how our hands are going to be and our legs are going to be, then we're just allowing our lips to part and our tongue to pull away from the roof of the mouth. Now that we've got a nice big opening to take the air in, I want you to take a nice big full breath in and release it with a big sigh. So big inhale, and then take a nice big inhale, and do it a couple more times. It might be waking you up, it might be calming you down, but breath is so important. Big inhales. Let it go. And we'll do it one more time. A nice big inhale and exhale and let it go. Now that we've started to take in some more forceful breathing, let's start to calm it down and see if we can start to breathe through the nose. So slowly take a nice deep breath in. And then notice if we can slow it down as we exhale through the nose. Couple of more nice deep breaths. Inhale in through the nose. And then just slowly exhale through the nose. Now maybe check in with your shoulders. A lot of the times when we do that big full breath, we take up those shoulders. But now that we're starting to breathe a little softer, we're seeing if we can find a little bit more relaxation in those shoulders. We don't want any tension up there. We're going to hold a lot of tension in there throughout the day. So we're just trying to find some calmness, getting into our mind and our body connection just to relax those shoulders. Then we're going to take in some deeper breathing. We're going to start with a count of 4. Then we're going to add a pause for 2. And then we're going to slowly exhale for 6. And again, if it's not possible to breathe through the nose today, then it's all right. You can breathe through the mouth, but we're going to try and be nice and slow and soft. So if you're ready with me, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Pause. And then slowly exhale to let it go. If you're ready for counting, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, feel the ribs expand, feel the belly rise, take in the full capacity. Pause. Slowly exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Two more times. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just go back to our regular breathing. Just notice if we've created a little bit more space in our lungs, a little bit more awareness in the body. And once we've done a couple of nice deep breaths, we're going to start by isolating the spine today. So first we're going to do is just a little rock side to side with the head. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, turn your head one way. Inhale, slowly come up. And exhale, turn the other way. And now we're just starting to notice if we have the same range of motion on each side. Inhale, slowly bring the head to neutral. Exhale, turn to one side. Inhale to neutral. And then exhale to the other side. So this is your cervical spine. Just continue doing this nice and slow. Just noticing how your head rocks on the occipital ridge. It's the base of your skull. And this is where a lot of your spinal erectors connect into the base of the head. The head is fully supported as we go side to side. And again, maybe we see if we can just turn our head a little bit more each time we go left and right. Cervical spine has the most movement of the entire spine, and it allows us to look side to side. Once you've done a couple of side to side, come back into the center. And we're going to tip our chin to look up to the ceiling. And so we're just tipping our chin to look up. And then we're pulling our chin to our chest to come down. Now, if that feels a little uncomfortable for the back of the head, we can always interlace our fingers and tuck our hands underneath our head so that we have a little bit more range of motion so that we can help with the fingers to tip the head forward. And then we can lower the chin as we exhale. Let's do this a couple of times. A nice big inhale to lift up the chin, getting a stretch through the neck, and then exhale, taking the chin to the chest. And we'll do that one more time. Just looking up to the ceiling or above your head as much as you can, and then bringing it back down to the chest. If we're comfortable, let's draw a circle. So bring your chin over to the right side or the left. Look up to the ceiling, come down through the left side, and then to the chest, and then go the other way. So go up one way, gently look up to the ceiling, try and relax the shoulders. Exhale, come down, and then chin to the chest. We'll do it one more time each way, relaxing the shoulders. If we've created any tension in the back, just let it go. And just work with cervical spine fully supported. We're not having to balance or stabilize. We're just letting those vertebrae start to move around. And then one more time, go ahead and bring the chin all the way up, circle around, and then just let the head relax. Now that we've done a couple of motions with the head, we're slowly going to allow our knees to bend. So take your time, no rush here. And once your knees are bent, we take our arms out to cactus arms or fully out to a T. We're going to do the same thing with those knees. Let the knees drop to one side. They do not have to touch the floor. And just see how your lower thoracic and lumbar spine feels. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And then exhale over to the other side. and then inhale up. See if we can close our eyes, taking a big inhale, exhale to rise up, and then inhale. Just noticing how our hips feel on this side. Are they equal? Do we feel a little bit more tension on one side or the other? Again, it's not about judging it. It's not about worrying about anything right now. We're just noticing it. And it just depends on what we do and what side of our body is dominant. Just a couple more rocks here. And then we're going to come back into the center, pull one knee into the chest, followed by the other, and place your hands on your knees. And then we're going to pull the knees into the chest, and then just let them float away from you. Don't let go of them, just pull them in. So now we're pulling our knees in, tipping the tailbone up, and then letting the knees relax as you extend the arms. We'll do that again, pulling in nice and close, tipping the pelvis up, and then releasing it. Just notice how the back feels. One more time, pulling those knees in and then letting them go. Let's put it all together. So bring the knees into the chest, circle them around one way, come back through the center and over to the other side, and then back into the chest. Go the other way and just notice how the sacrum feels. Feeling the lower back, just doing those circles, noticing if we have any tension in quadratus lumboris, the QL. It's one of the bigger muscles on the side of the body, just above the glutes. It helps a lot with leaning and moving forward and backwards. So we're doing just a little bit of circles here with those hips getting into that pelvis. One more time, go ahead and circle around. And then meet with those knees in at the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug in here. Go ahead and place one foot on the floor and then take the other foot into the sky and hold on to the back of the knee. And then just give me some ankle rotations here. Just notice how the ankle joint feels. A couple of circles one way and then circle it the other way. Then we're going to allow that knee to pull into about a 90-degree and then take those hands out to the side. Now that we've done that, we'll tap the toe down. So just tap the toe down. It's a little bit bigger movement and bring it back into the chest, just the one leg, tapping the toe down. So now we're getting the abdominals in and the hip flexors, lower abs. One more time, just slowly tap the toe down, bring the knee into the chest. One more time, just a bigger range of motion from that hip and bring it in. Take the same hand as your leg now. Hold onto the knee. So just one hand on the same knee. Pull the knee into the chest and then take it for a circle. If we have a strap around and we're a little bit more comfortable putting the strap on our feet, you can do that. But right now I'm just holding onto the knee and I'm taking it for a circle, just making sure that my pelvis stays still, that I've got my foot firmly on the floor as the other one is winding around, and just allowing some movement into that hip. And once we've done that, we'll place that foot on the floor, take both of the arms out to the side, cactus arms, or going into the full T, and then pull the other knee into the chest, and then let it drop down. So again, just forward and backward motion, like a big step. You're stepping up, hip flexors need to pull to do a step, and then lower, tap the toe down. We're trying not to arch the back. We're starting to engage our lower abs, pulling the knee in, and then letting it tap down. One more time, pulling that knee into the chest, lightly tap the knee down. Go ahead and pull the knee into the chest, same hand as knee, hold on to the knee. Take it out to the side, give a little wind around here, and just see if you can brace your core enough so that the knee that's attached to the foot that's on the floor is not moving around. It's staying pointed to the ceiling, and we're just really focusing on circling through the hip. Noticing how the back feels as that hip comes out to the side, noticing how the core has to engage, and the femur is rotating around in the hip socket. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and pull both knees in, both hands on one knee, one hand on each knee. So it's on, you've got yourself just in a stacked position. We're going to pull our knees in and we'll take them out together and just let those circles happen. So pull the knees in, both knees out, circle around and come back together. We're going to exhale to pull in. We're inhaling to round out. One more time, pulling in and then rounding out. If you feel particularly confident today and you want to take your hands away and put them as cactus arms, you can continue to do this motion, but it's going to be a lot more challenging on the core, not so much the hips, but a lot more challenging on the core when you release your hands. And we don't have to touch the floor with our toes. We keep it a little bit higher and it's just a little rock forward and backward on the pelvis like we did earlier and just circling out those knees. And then we'll place the foot down, take the other leg and send it up into the sky. The one that we didn't do before, hold on to the back of the knee and give me some circles with that ankle. So just some nice circles here, round one way, then do some circles the other way. And then let's bend that knee and place it down. We'll roll over onto one of our sides. So just slowly roll and come into a seated posture. Once we've sat down, we've worked a little bit into the neck, into the lower part of your pelvis, and we're going to take it now to a little bit of the shoulders. So we have our hands on our knees. If we need a block to sit on, again, I like to give lots of options. Today, I'm going to take the option of sitting on the block. And what that'll do is allow the pelvis just to tip forward, and the knees can then come tilting forward and allow us to sit up a little bit taller. If we don't need the block, it's okay. And then we're going to inhale our hands all the way up. Look to the ceiling, again, cervical spine, and then exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, rising those hands all the way up, looking to the ceiling, stretching out that neck. And then exhale, coming down. We'll do 2 more of these. Nice big inhales all the way up. Exhale, chin to the chest, come down. One more time, big inhale all the way up. And then we're going to come down through the center. Now we're going to add a little bit of a twist to this one. So we're going to get our thoracic spine involved. So inhale, look up, and then turn to your right side. Exhale down in that twist, and then come through the center all the way up, look to the ceiling, and then twist to the left side as you come down. So now we're getting a little bit of thoracic. Inhale, look up. Exhale, come down and twist to the one side. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, twist down on the other side. One more time each way. So again, we're getting cervical spine. And then we're twisting with thoracic. One more time, big inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale the other way. Inhale all the way up. Interlace your fingers, come down, and then press your fingertips towards me. Tip your chin in to look at your belly. And now we're going to take it to flexion and extension. So pull the elbows behind you, look to the sky, and open up your chest. So exhale, rounding out. So it's a little bit more now. We haven't gone into flexion and extension yet. So now we're opening up the chest and pulling the elbows behind. We'll do 2 more times. Big inhale, push the air through the back body. And then exhale, bring the chest to the sky. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Take those hands right up to the ceiling. And then take that left hand and drop it down to the left side. Take a look over. So again, with the cervical spine, and now a lateral flexion. Inhale, look straight ahead, and then exhale the other hand down and look over to the side. If you need a block to put the hand on and you're not sitting on your blocks, you don't want to go quite to the floor, we can always use the block, or we just don't have to reach quite for the floor. Inhale, look neutral. Exhale, tipping over. Feeling the side body stretch. So many parts of the spine to move around. You can make 41 different movements with the spine from the thoracic. Then you can do the same thing from your lumbar, and you can do that from the cervical. One more time. So that's a lot of motion that you can do. So now that we've done that, Let's go ahead and put it all together. Bring the hands down in front and interlace them, press forward. Then pull them all the way back. Inhale all the way up. Go ahead and dive over to one side. Inhale and then exhale to the other side. We'll do that one more time. Bring the hands down to the center, press the palms to me, round the shoulders. Then pull the elbows behind you, look up to the sky. Take those hands to the ceiling, look neutral. Dive over to one side, look to the floor. And then inhale up and do the same thing on the other side. Then we're going to take those hands all the way up. We're going to interlace those fingers, press them forward. We're just turning our palms with the forward press, lean or tip over or turn over to the right side. And then sweeping over to the left side. We'll do that again, turning, feeling your core have to engage a little bit more now as we're twisting. And then twist the other way. Take it over to the one side. Bring those hands up to the ceiling, look up. Bring them down on the other side, and then come through the center. So now it's a big circle in the front. If that's a little too aggressive for your hands, you can just interlace them this way. But I like to get that stretch through the fingertips. Come over to the side. Inhale, come up. Exhale to the other side, and then thread through. Switch again, big inhale, all the way up. Exhale, circle down. And last time, inhale all the way up. And then exhale, circle down. Let's release those hands down. You might have felt some work in those shoulders a little bit, so give them a little shake out. If you have the block, let's go ahead and remove the block. And I want us to come into a 90-90 now. So now we're starting to move deeper into these hips. Okay, is everyone okay with the 90-90? Yeah. If it becomes a little bit too much at any time, you can just come in or just take a foot out to the side. But 90-90 is hopefully where you're at right now. And then we can always have that block so that when we're going side to side, we don't have to reach quite for the floor. So if you have those blocks beside you, you might not need them, but again, I want to give you the options. And all we're doing here is taking that big breath in. And you're going to have the knee that's in front of you leaned away from that side knee. So I happen to have my right knee in front. So I'm leaning over to my right side. And then I come to the left, and that's where you're going to feel a lot more stretch. It's when you come into the knee that's out to the side. Everyone okay? Inhale. Exhale, lean away from the leg. And then inhale. You'll know which one I'm talking about as soon as you get into that deeper crunch. As soon as you lean in towards the knee, you feel it. One more time. So we're starting to get deeper into these hips. And then lean away. All right, so we're going to take our hands down to the floor. So again, I have my right foot forward. I have my right hand down. And then my left hand is going to sweep in and try and touch the other hand. So now I've got to turn. And then inhale, come back up. Okay, so now we're twisting. Exhale, turn, looking down at the floor. And then inhale, come back up. Nice. One more time, exhale, just turn down to the floor and then come back up. So now that we've gone and we've started to do a twist, that's opening up the hip a little bit more. We're going to come down and keep both of our hands on the floor. If we need a block to bring the floor to us, we can. And if we find that that front hand, which happens to be my left hand, if that one needs a little bit more placement so that it's not so far down, so I'm not turning so much, we can use the block for a little bit of height, because we're going to be in this position for a bit. Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone can see my knee. Okay, so I'm looking at the floor between my hands, and my knee here from this side is a little bit forward of my hip. So I'm going to move it back. So here's my hands behind me. Okay, so I'm turned. We did these big movements. So now we're turned, and this foot is going to slide behind. Okay, so from the visual from the front, we're on the side, and to slide that knee a little bit behind, so it's just slightly behind your hip. Okay. So you should feel the hip flexor now. You should feel a nice big stretch through the hip flexor. Okay. Yep. Looks good. And now that we've got that twist here and that opening, you might not like me too much for the next, maybe 10 minutes, because we're going to get really deep into these hips. Okay. So if you haven't done this with Natalia before, you're really going to enjoy this one. So all we're going to do, and I say all, is lift up your knee, but keep your foot on the floor. So it's like a clam. Just lift up your knee. It doesn't have to be high. Okay. And then put the knee back down. And we're going to try and look between our hands with our body turning over to the side. So lift up the knee, keep the foot on the floor. And then exhale, come back down. So it should feel really deep workings. This is helping you propel when you walk. We don't want to get tight in those hips, because as soon as those hips get tight, we can't have that locomotion to propel us forward. When you get stiff hips, then you get the people that you see that start to shuffle as opposed to lift their legs and do that locomotion. Once we've done this a couple of times, and I'm going to take a look at you, hopefully you've seen the motion. Yes, good. Okay, nice and slow. Take your time. Lift it all the way up. Doesn't have to be big. Perfect. And then lower it back down. Okay, so now keep your knee down. And what I want you to do, if this is your knee, swivel your foot up. Just the foot. Yes, yes, just the foot. Okay, how'd that feel? Okay, if it felt really awkward, it's okay, because what we're doing is it's this motion. Okay, you stay where you are, but it's the locomotion. It's lifting it up and coming around. Now I'm exaggerating walking, but you have to do this motion to get those hips to work. So what we're doing is working right into the femur, into this hip socket, to allow us to do internal rotation here. So we're just lifting up the toe, and then we're going to put it back down. Okay. So inhale, lift up the toe. I'm keeping the knee down. And I'm feeling it in my glute, in my hip. I'm feeling it in a whole bunch of different places. You might even feel it in quadriceps lumboris, all the way up and then all the way back down. It doesn't have to be a big move, but we're trying to squeeze and lift the foot and then put it back down. We'll do it one more time. Take a big breath. Make sure you're breathing. Lift up and put it back down. Okay, so now we're going to add on one knee and then one foot. So lift up your knee first, put the knee down, and then lift up your foot, and then put your foot down. Okay, so we're trying to look at our hands now that we know what's going on. Lift the knee up, put the knee down, lift the foot up, put the foot down. Inhale, knee up, exhale, knee down, inhale, foot up, exhale, foot down. How are we doing? Are we starting to feel this? It's really deep. Okay. We're really working deeply. Now that we've gotten this one, here is the best part. And I hope you agree. And if it's not the best part of it, stay with this one because everyone's doing fantastic. But we're going to lift up the knee. And then we're going to transition in the air. So drop the knee and lift the toe. Okay, so now we have to have real control. We're going to drop the toe and lift the knee. Okay, so we're going to inhale and we're going to exhale. Try and get that knee to touch, lift the toe up. It doesn't matter how high, and then tap the toe down. We'll do that a couple of more times. Inhale and exhale. Nice. One more inhale. And exhale. If you have anything left, you're going to take both the knee and the foot off the floor and extend the leg out. Ooh. And then bring it back in. We'll do that a couple times. Out. Now your butt should be really talking to you. Your hip. Okay. 2 more times. Push the toe out. Bend the knee. Bring it back in. 1 more time. Lengthen out. Pull it back in. And then put that knee down, walk yourself back into the front, grab behind that knee and bring it forward. All right, give a little wobble on the bum. And the leg that you just used, I know you know which one you used. So it happens to be my left. I'm going to cross it over my right. Now, if I need to take my knee out a little bit so that I can get it across, we're going to release it. Okay. And then you can pull your knee or your heel in towards your body, or you can lift up your bum and bring your bum towards your heel. And then once you've got that, I need everyone to lift up their chest, because as soon as you lift up your chest, you're going to feel your hip activate. with the spine elongated, and then just do a little rock side to side. How do we do on that side? We good? Hopefully we felt some deep activation in those hip muscles. We sit in chairs. I always talk about chairs. I'm sure everyone in the industry is always talking about how we sit in chairs and they're just a very unnatural way for our hips to be for extended periods of time. And so this one just allows us to get into those deep muscles that we don't use for climbing over things anymore, for propelling forward. Let's slowly get unhooked. Take those feet wider than your hips. Then take it over to the right side. So this is an internal rotation. This is an external rotation. And then switch to the other side and just see how that hip feels. Go ahead and rock right over onto one butt cheek, lifting the other one up, and then drop onto the other butt cheek and lift the other one up. So this is a 2-for-1 because you're also pressing into those hands and lifting up the chest. You're getting a butt massage. Maybe it's even a 3-for-1, and then you're getting an external and an internal rotation. So a 3-for-1, who doesn't like a great deal? All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to do it on the other side. So find yourself back in a 90-90 on the other side. And we're going to treat this one like we don't know what's going on because we really don't. This is a whole other hip. We don't know how it's going to react. So we have our blocks around if we need them. I like having them around just for the first ones so that I don't have to go so deep if my hip decides it's not quite there yet. And as we start to open up, it might get there. So we're just taking that deep breath in. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, come down through heart center. So we're just stabilizing ourselves. Right away, you're bracing your core and you're feeling some stability through that hip because the hip is out and extended in an external rotation. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, coming back down. We're going to take it on the lateral flexion. So inhale all the way up. For me, it happens to be my left hand that comes down, and I'm going to put it on a block and lean over to stretch out the right side. And then inhale, come up. And this is the one that's going to crunch. This is the first time we're tipping into that hip. And again, this hip is a little more tender for me today. So I'm going to hold on to that block a little bit higher. Inhale and exhale. You might not need the block. Again, don't let me be the judge of your body. You make sure that you're taking it to the level you need to. And then I'm tipping over towards that knee. Then come back up over to your block. I feel like I might be able to start to release my hand from that block. So I'm going to move the block a little further away and see. Yeah, it's getting better. So I'm hoping everyone is judging their body themselves and then come back over. One more time, big inhale, exhale, crunch into that hip and then come away from the hip and put the hand down. If you need the block, you go ahead and use it. The other hand sweeps in towards it. So now we're turning the body. And then we're coming back up, okay? So right away now the hip is coming forward motion as we twist through the thoracic spine, and then we bring it back up. 2 more times, twisting. So this is a little bit of a release for the hip. Inhale, come back up. This time we're gonna stay with the hands on the floor, and we're talking about moving that hip back. So my knee naturally wants to come forward. Pull it behind you, behind your hip, and that way you're going to feel the hip flexor open up, okay? So that hip flexor right from here, you'll feel it right all the way down here if you've pulled the knee back far enough. You might not even need it all that far if you have a tight hip flexor. Now that we've done this, we're starting with the lift. So it's just the knee, okay? So go ahead and just lift up the knee. And at first one, you don't have to do very much. And the more you twist and look down at your hands, the more you're going to feel it in the hip because your spine is turning. So we're just inhaling up and exhaling down. We'll do that a couple of times. And it's not about the height, right? It's about the movement. It's about slow and precise movement of lifting the knee up and just noticing how it feels in the hip as you open up and bring it back down. 2 more times. Big inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more time, lift. And exhale, lower. Keep the knee on the floor and let's just swivel the foot up. So we're now lifting the foot up as high as we can. It might not be high, and then put it back down. One of these is going to feel particularly challenging. And for me, it happens to be lifting my knee. But some of us find that internal rotation quite difficult. So that's what we're doing with the foot lifting up off the ground. internally rotating from the hip and then coming back down. Let's do the 1 and 1 now. So we're lifting the knee up. We're putting the knee down. We're inhaling the foot up. We're putting the foot down. So this is external rotation, lifting the knee out and then coming down. This is internal rotation when you lift the foot up. So again, just a little bit more movement. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And we can always stay with this. We can always take a break. We can always come back to this later on if we find that this is going to free up those hips a little bit later. Now that we've done that, go ahead and lift up the knee and we're going to swivel. So take the knee down as you lift up the toe. A lot more work. Inhale up. Exhale and look down at your hands. Try and push equally into both hands. Inhale, lift the knee up. Exhale, swivel in the air. One more time, knee up, toe down. And then the other way. Let's try and lift both the knee and the toe and extend that leg out as if you're trying to push a button way opposite to you. We'll do that a couple of times, and if it's too much, just take a break. Exhale to come back in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, come back in. Really should be feeling your butt working now. Exhale, come back out. Bring it in. Put the knee down. Walk yourself gently back to the front so that we're not aggravating the back by doing a sharp movement. And then grab onto the back of the knee to come back into seated. The leg that you worked now, I'm outstretching my left to grab onto my right to place it on top of it. And then I can allow my heel to come in just so that I'm not jarring the movement of that hip. And then if I'm still needing a little bit more, I lift up my bum and I bring it to the heel. And then once that's done, I notice that my spine curves. So I have to lift up my chest, pull my shoulders back, and immediately I feel it in the hip. And then if it feels right to rock a little side to side, you give it some motion. And once we've done that a couple times, we'll go ahead and unhook the foot. We'll take those feet nice and wide one more time. Walk your hands out a little bit wider too, and lift up the chest. Let's drop it over to one side. So I'm dropping it over to my right and then taking it over to the left. Just seeing how this hip feels now that we've done them both equally. A little over to one side and then a little over to the other side. Coming back into the center, walk those feet in. And if you have some water and you need to take a sip, go ahead and do that. It'll be a good time to do it. And then we'll come into a little bit of standing work. How's everyone doing so far? Are we okay with the hips? Okay. So we'll make our way to standing. However you want to come to standing, take your time, especially now that we've worked those hips. And we've got our feet about hip distance apart. Come a little bit closer here so you can see. I want to be on the dark surface so you can see my feet. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take a big inhale all the way up. And then just let those hands come down at the side. Okay, we're going to work with the side body. So I want you to tip your head over to the right side. And then I want you to slide your right hand down your leg. And then I want you to bend your right knee and push that left hip out. Then I want you to straighten the knee. Then I want you to come all the way up and then bring your head. Okay, so it's segmented. Normally we do this all in one go, but what I want us to do is segment each part of the spine. So cervical spine, tilt your head, same side. And then we're going to use our thoracic, sliding your hand down your leg. And then once you've done that, we're going to get into our lumbar and we're going to lift up the knee on the same side and reach down. Then we're going to drop the heel down. We're going to slowly slide the hand back up. And then we're going to take our head, stack it. One more time, head first, then slide down through the side. Lifting up your knee, sending your hip out a little bit further. Drop the heel down. Start to make your way up with your hand and then with your head. Now let's do it in a whole cycle. So now we're just lifting the heel and lifting the heel, tipping over, tipping the head, and then come back up. So tip over to the side, bend that knee, lift the heel, and come back up. We'll do that one more time. Go ahead and tip to the side. So we're just opening up through the hip and then come up. We'll do the same thing on the other side, segmented. So give a little shimmy of those legs. Give me a little shimmy of the shoulders. Taking a nice big breath. Let it go. Lots of mind-body connection right now. We're really thinking about this, and we're going to take it the other way. So let your head tip over to the shoulder and just feel that cervical stretch here, trapezius, all of the muscles here. And then we're going to slide our hand down our side. So now we're getting into a lateral bend. And then we're bending that knee and sending the hip out even further so that we can get even deeper. Then we're going to straighten the knee, come up, slide the hand up, keep the head still on your shoulder, and then come all the way up. Segmented work. So we're going to tip from the head, slide through thoracic, lift the hip and or bend the knee and lifts that opposite hip into your lumbar. And then slowly reverse it out. Let's take the bend out of the knee, slowly come up, stack the head. One more time in the segmented. So go ahead and let the head drop. Slowly slide down the side. Bend the knee, lift the heel. Drop the heel, straighten the knee. Come all the way up through the side. And then bring your head to stack. Let's just take it now for the big movement all in one. So lift the heel, bend the knee, dive over, and then come back up. Go ahead and bend the knee, slide down, come back up. Let's go side to side now. So lift the other heel and bend the knee, coming all the way up and then going the other way. So you can see how all parts of your spine have to work to do this movement all the way down the side. And this really mimics, again, walking in an exaggerated motion. Even it out, just noticing where we might have more of the sticky points in our body. It might be the neck, it might be the hips still, it might be in that thoracic spine where we're going side to side. And then just give it a little shake here. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale down through the center. Soften your knees. And make sure that the feet are spread nice and wide. We'll take that inhale all the way up. We're going to come into our first chair pose. So sink your hands onto your thighs, push your bum back, and lean forward. Knees track towards the second and third toe so that we don't have either knocking knees or pushing out too much. And so we're gravitating for all 4 points of the feet. And then we're going to inhale to come back up, rise those hands all the way up. Exhale, lower down, put the hands on the thighs, push the bum back. Feel the grounding of the feet. And then inhale, rise all the way back up. We'll do it one more time, grounding down for the feet, bending forward, leaning forward, and then pressing, coming all the way back up. This time, if you want, keep your hands forward, push your bum back, same deal. All 4 points of the feet are on the floor. We feel stabilized and the knees track towards the toes. Let the hands come down and just stand up. Okay. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your thighs or dive forward, keeping those hands just forward of your head. Letting the hands come down and then standing all the way back up. So we're really priming these legs. One more time, inhale all the way up. Sinking down, either holding on to the thighs or bringing your hands above your head. Let those hands come down. And then inhale all the way up to standing. Put the weight on your dominant leg. That happens to be my right, lifting up your left heel. Give me a couple of circles here with that ankle. Give me a couple of circles here with the other ankle. And then roll the shoulders back and down. we're going to lift up that foot and come into our first balance. So now we've prepped the foot and the leg. We've prepped the hip and then put the foot down. Okay. We're going to externally rotate. My foot is down on the floor. And then we're going to lift it up this way. So lift up on that side. Now I've got a chair here. If anyone needs the chair, you can always grab onto the chair or onto the wall, whatever you need. Okay. Because we're going to be doing this a few times. So relax those shoulders and turn your knee back in. Find the weight on your foot. Soft knee bend. Lift the knee up. Put the knee down. Externally rotate. Lift the knee up. And put the knee down. Nice. One more time. Coming in. Lifting up. Put the knee down. Turn it out. Lifting up. And then put it down. Now, if you feel like you're ready to take that knee up and just circle it all the way around, you can. So shoulders are back and down. We're going to lift the knee up, circle it out to the side, and then bring the toe down. So we're going to inhale, exhale out to the side. 2 more times. Inhale up. Try to find that stability. If we don't have that good stability today, up and then out to the side like we did earlier. 1 more time in this direction. Out to the side and put the foot down. Let's turn the foot out. So we're starting in this position, almost like a tree pose. Okay. We're starting in this position. Lift the leg up, bring it forward now and drop it down. It doesn't have to be as high as mine, but now we're still working that hip a lot. Bring it up, bring it in, bring it down. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. It really helps if you look at something on the floor that isn't moving for balance wise. All the way up and then exhale down. Give it a little shake out here. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now we're just doing balance with those hips. Okay. So first one, just roll the shoulders back. Give me a little shimmy here. Take a look at something on the floor that isn't moving. That'll help you stay stabilized. And then we're just going to lift the knee up in the front, put the toe back down. Externally rotate. It doesn't have to be a huge external rotate. Keep the soft knee bent and then lift it up and then put that knee down. So we're bringing it to the front, lifting it up, putting the knee down, then swivel out to the side, lifting up, and then put it back down. 1 more time to the front and down. And again, we can always stay with this. Tip out to the side, lift it up, and put it down. If you feel ready, we're bringing our knee up. We're scooching it around in the air, and then we're tapping it down. So take a big inhale, exhale down and around. 2 more times. So now we're using core as well, hip flexors, circling around in that hip and using our stabilizers in our feet to balance. We're going to take it out the other way. So come into basically a tree pose, lift the knee up, circle it around, and put the foot down. Swivel out, up, and down. 2 more. Out, up, down. Last one. I'm also feeling it on this side because my stabilizers in my glute med and min are activating. And then shake it out. Then I've got a lot of work in those hips to rotate and lift those legs. Legs are heavy. All right, so give it a big shake here. And now we're going to take it nice and wide with those feet. Turn the toes out. Big inhale all the way up. Exhale those hands onto your thighs and push your bum back. Okay, so we're just diving in, bending those knees. Knees still track towards the second and third toe, and we're just coming down here. And then we're going to roll up through the spine. Come to standing. Okay, inhale all the way up. Exhale, come down onto the thighs, roll your spine. And then inhale, come all the way up. 1 more time, exhale, coming down to roll the spine. Inhale all the way up. 1 more time, exhale down to your thighs. Inhale, roll your spine all the way up. And then we're going to stay down. So soften the knees, bring your hands to your thighs. If you need to open up those feet a little bit wider, you can at any time. And then from here, what I'd like you to do is round your spine completely, pull your elbows in, and then pull on the inside of your thigh to open up and look to the sky. So it's a squatted cat-cow. So exhale, round your shoulders in, look at your belly button, bring your hands on into your thigh, and then push onto your thighs, drop your chest and look up. You're going to feel your hips working as well. So tipping the spine up, and you're taking your pelvis, you're stabilizing through those quads. It's big work. And then dropping the belly down, looking up. So these are all different things you can do with your spine. We went side to side, forward and backward. One more time. Exhale, drop the belly down, press into those hands, pull the elbows behind, look to the sky. And then round the shoulders, push on the inner thighs, get those elbows to come in. And then come to a neutral spine, press into those heels, come all the way up, walk the feet in, and give it a little shake. All right. So I'm going to leave the hips alone for a while. I think we've done enough on them. And we'll make our way back down to the floor, and we're going to start up with the shoulders. So again, make your way down onto the floor. Grab a sip of water if you need to. Always staying hydrated, especially in the humidity today. So you always want to make sure you're staying hydrated, because as soon as you feel thirsty, you've actually gotten to a point of dehydration. So we always want to make sure we get the water in. All right. Let's go ahead and come onto all fours. So we'll be in all four tabletop position. Just fixing my hair here so it's out of the way. And these hips should be nice and primed for child's pose. So knees outside the hips, and then push your bum back, and we should have absolutely no problem feeling that gentle stretch, reaching those hands forward. Let the chest drop. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here, and maybe just shimmy those hips around a little bit. And then once we've done that, knowing we can come back to child's pose at any point in the practice that we feel we need to. We're going to come back into our tabletop, so our hands are spread nice and wide, our knees are underneath our hips, and we're going to tuck our toes. So the toes are tucked now, and we're now going to take it to a very active child's pose. Push your heels towards your bum and press into those toes. So everyone hopefully can see that what we're doing is we've got our toes tucked under, and now we're bringing our bum to stretch out those toes. And then take the pressure off by coming back up. And we'll do it again. So just shifting the weight to your toes as you push your bum back, and then coming back up onto a tabletop. One more time, just sinking back onto those toes. And then coming back up. Okay, so now we've got some movement in those ankles. Push yourself back into this active one. And then if you're able to push up into downward facing dog, the toes are tucked, lift up the knees and see if you can come into downward facing dog. And then we're going to slowly make our way back down to the knees, and then push your bum back towards your heels. Okay, so just a nice slow movement here. So come into the tabletop, your toes are tucked. Lift up the knees, press into those hands and lift up, look between the knees, and then slowly bring the weight forward, drop the knees down, and then push back. So a lot of ankle flexion is needed here. One more time, coming into the tabletop, lifting up the knees, pushing your butt high into the sky, bringing yourself back in alignment with the knees underneath the hips, coming down, and then pushing back. Let's just go ahead and come into our downward facing dog now. So we're in our downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. So press one heel to the back of the mat, bend the opposite knee, and then switch to the other side. Do a couple of these, starting to feel the calves. Then once we've done a couple of walks of the dogs, we'll go ahead and walk ourselves to the tops of our mats. We're in our forward fold. We're going to inhale to a halfway hold. And then we're going to exhale, either touch a block or the floor, and then just give it a shake out like a rag doll. One more time, halfway hold. And then exhale, forward fold. Let's stand all the way up. So my knees are soft. I'm going to roll up through vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching my hands all the way up, stacking my spine up to the sky, and then exhale down through heart center. We'll take a big inhale, rising up. We're going to make our way onto the floor, but this time we're starting with the knee bend, and then we dive forward. We can either walk ourselves down our legs, or we can just float down to the floor. Once we've got to the floor, see if you can step back with one foot, step back with the other, and you're in a downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop to your knees. Once we're on our knees, you're going to bring the weight of your chest forward of your hands. So come forward, but not dropping those hips. Just squeeze your bum and look as if you're peeking over the edge of your mat, and then go ahead and push back onto those heels again. So a lot of work for these heels. Inhale, coming forward like a plank, and then pushing yourselves back. One more time, we're not dropping our hips. We're just coming forward, squeezing our bum. If you put a marble on your head, it should roll right off of your tailbone and then slowly sink back. Now that we've done this one, let's see if we can take a chest drop. Okay, so we're out in this position and we're not going to do a full drop down. What I want you to do is see if you can push back and bring your head to the mat, bringing your elbows down by your side, and then come back into that kneeling plank. Okay, so check out the elbows. My hands are underneath my shoulders. I've got the weight of my body just a little bit forward of my hands. Then I'm going to send my butt back and drop my shoulders or drop my elbows down and bring my forehead to the mat. So like a Sphinx pose. And then pushing back up again. So this is working the shoulders in that chaturanga type of posture. One more time, we're going to push our bums back, drop the elbows down, let the head come down, and then lifting all the way back up. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more of these with a add-on. So we're going to push ourselves back, drop the elbows down, coming back up. Go ahead and come into downward facing dog. Walk yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway hold. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale down through heart center. Inhale all the way up. Bend the knees and walk yourself down or slowly get to the floor, however you want to float down. Then take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Go ahead and drop to the knees. Bring your chest just forward of your hands. If you are ready to do a complete drop down, let the feet go. And it's the same thing. Elbows brush your ribs. Instead of bringing the elbows to the floor, now they stay. And then we can push back into child's pose. Go ahead and tuck those toes. Come into downward facing dog. Walk the feet towards your hands. Soft knees. Inhale halfway up the shins. Exhale, let it go. Roll up through the spine. Slowly come to standing. And then exhale to heart center. Inhale, rise all the way up. Again, you're softening the knees, walking down from the body to protect the back, or just taking that float all the way down to the floor. Taking a step back with one foot, taking a step back with the other foot, coming into a kneeling position. Come forward into that kneeling plank. Again, we can push back into this version, or we just drop our chest down forward, and that is a chaturanga pose. And then we can let our feet go flat, push back into our into our child's pose. Take a moment here. If you've had enough, just stay here and stay in your child's pose. If you want to do one more of our sun salutations, you can join me for one last one. And we're going to tuck our toes, come into downward facing dog. Walk the feet towards your hands. Inhale halfway up the shins. Exhale down to the floor. Inhale, roll all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale all the way up. Soften the knees, walk down or float down to the floor. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Drop to the knees. Kneeling plank. Bending the elbows either to the mat or coming down in a chaturanga. Release the feet to the floor. Push back and come into child's pose, where we are all in child's pose now. If you did a lot of work for these shoulders, because chaturangas do a lot of work for the shoulders, we're going to be able to take it just for a nice little stretch here. So I'm in child's pose here. If you want to come up into tabletop, that's fine too, but we're just going to thread our right hand underneath our left. So just taking it through and dropping the shoulder down. Now we can always use a block for our head, just in case we need some support. And the shoulder does not want to come all the way to the floor today. We're looking for the stretch, not looking for the shoulder to touch the floor. We're just looking for a stretch in the rear deltoids and reaching your other hand above. If you would like a little bit more for the shoulders, you can take your left hand, bring it down to your shoulder, and then lift it up into the sky. See if that works. And if that works, you can take it and put it behind your back, and that'll open up the opposite shoulder. It'll put a little bit more pressure down on the right shoulder. The left shoulder will open up because it's now behind your back. A couple of nice deep breaths here. Then we can take the hand that's behind the back and bring it to the shoulder, unwind, and do everything on the other side. So take your hand, thread it underneath. So now it is my left going underneath my right. And again, it can be with a block to help support the head. If we don't have a block handy, this is the other thing I like to do, make a fist, and you can put your fist on your temple. And that's also an excellent way to take this stretch. If you have a little bit more and your hand is outreached, you can bring it in and then lift it up into the sky. See how that feels. That gives you a little bit more pressure because your hand is no longer down. You've lifted it up. And then if you really want to open up that top shoulder, place the hand behind your back. And again, it just depends on how much range of motion that shoulder has. But really what I want you to do is stretch out the back of the shoulder that's closest to the ground. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And if you have a hand behind your back, let's let it come down to the shoulder. And then once we've got that hand by the shoulder, we can unwind and slowly make our way back into a seated position. We're going to allow ourselves to take a sip of water if we need it, and then come back onto your spine. So we've made our way from the floor up to standing, doing some balancing, making our way back down through our chaturangas, and then coming back into a lying posture. So now that we're lying again, notice how the back feels. A lot of movement, lateral, flexion, forward and backward. We did a little bit of work standing as well as lying down. If we feel like we can let those legs start to extend out, let's go ahead and let those legs extend out and just see how the hips feel and the pelvis feel. Super amounts of work, circumduction. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Just notice the shoulders, maybe walk them out from underneath you. And then take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. One more time, a nice deep breath. Exhale, let it go. bending one of your knees. I happen to be bending my left knee and then taking my hands out to cactus arms or all the way out to your side like a T. And then we're just going to let that knee drop over the body. Now, if this is not accessible for you, there's two things we can do. We can bend both knees and let them drop over to the side and onto a block. Yeah. This is one option. The other one I had you do was a lot deeper because we did a lot of hip work. So I felt like we could possibly be able to let that knee just drop over and you might find a block. And the blocks are wonderful. They've got lots of levels. You can go high, medium, low, or not at all. Then once we've gotten this nice gentle twist, the hip is opened. If you have your one leg that is able to bend the top knee, you can take your hand opposite, grab behind the knee and pull it in towards the chest. So I happen to have my top leg pulled up, holding onto it with the other hand and trying to let both of my shoulders relax to the ground. One naturally comes up. What we're trying to do is just let it twist out so that we have access to the QL, the glutes. We have a nice thoracic twist and our shoulder is opening up. And then to get cervical spine involved, look away from your knees. So turn and look the opposite way. So again, we're just working with gravity now as opposed to against it. When we were standing and doing all this work, we were against gravity. We're having to use muscles to stabilize. Now we're on the floor. It's just pulling us down and it's helping us with the stretch. Most of the movements that we do, they're the exact same movements, but one is a stretch when we're on the floor, and then one is working when we're working against gravity. Usually when you're standing, it's against it. A couple of more nice deep breaths here, just trying to expand the lungs, try and relax the shoulders, take the tension out of the glutes. And just notice how those hips feel since we did a lot of work in them. Then we can turn our head back to the ceiling. If we're holding onto the knee, let's go ahead and release it. Bring the hands back to cactus or T. And then if your legs are separated, just bend both of the knees so that they can stack on top of one another. And once those knees are stacked, you're in a great position to press into the backs of the arms and roll onto your back. Gently lift up your pelvis by pressing the heels into the mat. And then you can realign the spine back down. So now we're starting back in that neutral spine position. And now you know your options. If you need the block on the other side, go ahead and put it on the other side. If you just want to take those knees and let them drop together, just because this is going to be a lot more comforting for you today, then just go ahead and do that. If you're okay to outstretch the leg that we had bent, we can outstretch that one. And then if we're ready to, we can let the knee just drop over onto a block or to the floor. And just notice how our back feels as gravity now is just pulling those legs over in that twist. Take a moment here just to start to feel how your back is engaged. If you're still squeezing your glutes, try and let them go. That always ends up happening to protect the lower spine. The glutes activate, so we're just trying to let it go because we're not balancing. Check out the shoulders. If we can just give them a little rock, a little gentle motion here just to release the tension. If we want to take our hand and grab onto that top knee, we can even open up through the QL and the hip a little bit more. It's going to be pulling that knee up into the chest, getting that hip flexor to activate. And again, if we need the blocks or not needing the blocks, anytime, just moving them around so that we feel supported. And then cervical spine is the last thing that we're going to turn and look away from those knees. And so now we've got a great big curve of the spine. We've got some opening through the hip. We're relaxing our face and our jaw. We're softening our eyes. We're just taking in those great deep breaths. All fascia is connected in one way or the other. So maybe when you take a deep breath in, you notice that when the air fills the lungs, it's starting to move and press on other muscles or stretch them out as the air fills in the body. So just take a notice of that. Take a deep breath in and notice what parts of your body are moving now that air is coming into your lungs. We don't really think about our breath. We just know that we breathe all the time. But when we start to think about it and we take in those deeper breaths, then we start to realize how much our diaphragm is connected to other parts of the body, especially when we're in a twisted motion or when we're in this supine twist. A couple of more nice deep breaths here, just feeling relaxed, letting tension leave the body. Then we can slowly turn our head back to center. If we're holding on to the knee, let's go ahead and let it go. Sliding both of those knees together so that they're stacked and supported. Press into the backs of the arms and roll onto your spine. We'll go ahead and press those heels into the floor, gently lift up the pelvis and let the vertebrae align back down on the mat. Then we can take one knee into the chest, followed by the other. Hold onto those knees. And instead of movement now, we're just going to take this to a static stretch. So we did a lot of dynamic movement with those hips in the beginning. So we're just going to slide our hands down onto our ankles. And if the ankles work, and we can go a little bit further, take your hands on the outside of your feet, wrapping around the outside and the soles of your feet. And then from here, we're just going to take the soles to press together and pull the knees out to the side. So now we're just getting that external rotation. If you can, let's tuck the chin into the chest and see if we can remove the gap in our cervical spine. So that one that's at the neck, see if we can press our chin into our chest enough to see if we can get that most of the gap out. And then once you've done that, peel your feet apart from one another, keeping the chin tucked and letting the feet float upwards towards the sky as your knees come down by your sides. So we're in baby pose now. And so this is just a very gentle working of what we had done before when we were standing in squat. And if we like to do a little rock side to side to rock the baby, it might feel good on the pelvis. Keep the chin tucked if you can, giving that nice long spine from the tip of the head to the tailbone. A couple of more rocks here. And then we can bring those feet back together. Slide your hands up your shins to the knees. Press the knees together. Place one foot down, followed by the other. And then just let those hands fall out to the side. We'll just take about 2 minutes in your Shavasana pose, returning back to what we did earlier by starting to let those shoulders shimmy, turning the palms up and then turning the palms down, and see if it's still the same. Do we like it up or do we like it down? Now that we've done some work in some chaturangas and some sun salutations, maybe it feels better to have the palms down. Maybe it still feels better to have them up. Walk those shoulders out from your back. If your knees are still bent like mine and we want to come out to full Shavasana, lengthen one leg out just to see how it feels. Let the foot fall out to the side and then do the same thing on the other one, knowing we can always bend those knees if it becomes a little too much pressure on the back or those hips. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it go with another deep breath in. Big, forceful. Just let any of the tension go. One more time, big inhale. Soften in around the eyes. Let the lips part. Pull the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. See if we can do the nose breathing now by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then slowly exhaling through the nose. Back to this awareness. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then slowly out through the nose. And then we'll bring it right back to that meditative state where we're counting and noticing our breath. I'll start with the counting of a 4, pausing for 2, exhaling for 6. And I'll do a couple of rounds with you, and then you can decide whether you want to continue with that or whether you just want to just lay still and do a little body scan. So if you're beginning with me with the controlled breath, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue this at your own perfect pace, maybe making the breaths a little longer, the exhales a little longer. Maybe it's just our time to go back into our body and just notice how our body feels connected to the floor, the arms, the legs, the head, the shoulders, pelvis. And again, if you'd like to stay in Shavasana a lot longer, Natalia, I know, tends to give you a lot longer Shavasana, but I tend to spend a lot of the end of my classes in twists that do the same thing. But if your preference is just to stay still instead of what we did with those twists and those maneuvers that were still lying on the back, feel free to stay exactly as you are. If you do want to start to bring movement back into the body, wiggle the fingers and the toes, move those ankles and those wrists in any way that feels right. If your legs are outstretched, we can bend one knee and then the other knee. And then once the knees are bent, take those arms out to cactus or a little wider, and then just do a little shimmy side to side, windshield wiping the knees right and left. Starting to build momentum, feeling the pelvis start to move again. And then just roll onto one of your sides. Take a moment and let the knee stack. Take the top hand and place it in front of the belly and put your head on the bottom arm and use it as a pillow. And again, sometimes side lying posture feels really good. So if we need a little more time in side lying posture, stay here and just feel how gravity pulls on the hips now that they're stacked, the shoulders are stacked. If you'd like to come up to seated, you can press into the hand that's in front of the belly, walk yourself up with the other one, come back into our seated posture. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Take a nice deep breath in, rising those hands all the way up. Exhale, floating down through the center, and we'll do that one more time. Nice big inhale, rising up. Exhale, floating down through the center. Thank you, everyone, for your practice this morning. As we come in our day and we start walking around, I'm hoping that the lower back and the hips have released a little bit. And hopefully we have a lot more range of motion in those shoulders now that we've done some sun salutations and got into pressing